The divorce papers were still warm in my messenger bag when I took the exit off Highway 74. 3 years of marriage, dissolved in 20 minutes of signatures and forced civility. Sarah kept the house. I kept the car and a hollowness in my chest that made it hard to breathe. I was supposed to be in Asheville by midnight, my brother's couch, a bottle of something strong, and the pretense that I'd be fine. But the storm had other plans. The rain hit like a freight train around mile marker 47, turning the windshield into a waterfall. My GPS stuttered, froze, then died with a pathetic electronic wheeze. No service. No backup route. Just instinct and the vague memory that this road would eventually spit me out somewhere near civilization. That's when I saw the turnoff, barely visible, more suggestion than road. A wooden sign, half rotted. Gas, 2 miles. I took it. The pavement gave way to gravel, then to mud that sucked at my tires. Trees pressed in from both sides, their branches forming a tunnel that swallowed my headlights whole. I drove for 20 minutes. No gas station, no houses, nothing. My hands were white-knuckled on the wheel when the forest finally opened up, and I saw it. A crooked sign with one flickering bulb and peeling white letters. Pine Bend Motel. Vacancy. The place looked like it had been dying for decades. A 1-story strip of 8 rooms, paint blistered and peeling, roof sagging in the middle like a broken spine. The whole structure leaned slightly to the left, as if the earth beneath it was slowly giving way. But the office lights were on. I killed the engine. The rain had stopped, but something about the silence felt wrong. No dripping water, no wind rustling leaves, no insects, just absolute suffocating quiet. Like the world was holding its breath. The office door creaked open before I could knock. Inside, the air was thick with mildew and something metallic. Copper, maybe, or old blood. The walls were yellow with age and smoke. Water stains spread across the ceiling like bruises. A dusty bell sat on the warped counter, and behind it, a doorway led into deeper darkness. I rang the bell. The sound died instantly, swallowed by the walls. I was about to leave when I heard it, a slow, wet shuffle from the back room. Not footsteps, something heavier, something being dragged. She emerged from the shadows like something dredged up from deep water. An old woman. At least, that's what my brain tried to tell me. But her skin was gray, almost translucent, stretched too tight over bones that seemed slightly wrong in their proportions. Her hair hung in damp, matted ropes. Her eyes were clouded with cataracts, but they locked onto me with predatory precision. Michael Sullivan. She said my name like she was reading it off a list. You made good time. My throat went dry. I didn't make a reservation. Didn't need to. Her smile revealed teeth too long, too yellow. You'll be in room 3. She slid a key across the counter with fingers that had too many joints. Don't open the curtains. Don't answer if someone knocks. And whatever you hear. Her smile widened. It's already too late to leave. What does that... But she had already turned, shuffling back into the darkness with that same wet, dragging sound. The key was ice cold in my palm. Room 3 smelled like decay and old pennies. The bed was made, but the sheets looked gray in the dim light. A rotary phone hung on the wall, its cord frayed and splitting. The bathroom door was slightly ajar, revealing a slice of cracked tile and a mirror that seemed to ripple when I looked at it directly. I locked the door, wedged a chair under the handle, and sat on the bed. That's when I noticed. It was cold. Not chilly. Cold. My breath misted in front of my face. The ancient heater rattled and groaned but produced no warmth. Through the thin walls I heard sobbing. Quiet, hitching sobs from room 4. A man's voice, I thought, though there was something off about it, something that made my skin crawl. Please, the voice whispered. Please, I have a family. I have a daughter. I pressed my ear to the wall. Hello? Are you okay? The sobbing stopped. Silence. Then from directly behind me. Thank you for asking. I spun around. The room was empty, but the bathroom door, previously cracked open, was now closed. And from behind it, I heard breathing. Slow, deliberate, like someone standing just on the other side, ear pressed to the wood, listening. I didn't move for what felt like hours. That's when I noticed the curtains. They were closed, heavy fabric stained with water damage. But they were moving, not swaying, breathing, rising and falling in a steady rhythm, as if the window itself had lungs. I stood frozen, watching them expand and contract. Expand, contract. And with each exhalation, I swear I heard a whisper. Look, look, look. My hand reached for the curtain edge before I could stop myself. Don't open the curtains. I jerked back, heart hammering. The breathing continued, patient and eternal. At 3 a.m., I know because I was staring at my watch, counting seconds to keep sane. The phone rang. That ancient rotary phone, covered in dust, dead for decades, let out a shrill ring that tore through the silence like a scream. I grabbed it with shaking hands. Static heavy, wet static. Then a voice. My voice, but wrong, like a recording played backward. The walls are thin here. Thinner than skin. They can hear your thoughts, Michael. They know about Sarah. They know what you did. I didn't. Check the bathroom mirror. See what you really are. Click. I stood there, phone trembling in my hand, staring at the bathroom door. I hadn't done anything. The divorce was mutual, wasn't it? Against every instinct, I walked to the bathroom and turned on the light. The mirror was fogged, even though the room was freezing. As I watched, letters appeared in the condensation, drawn by an invisible finger. She screamed your name. My reflection moved a half-second too late. When I raised my hand, it smiled before I did. I ran. Out of the bathroom, toward the door, chair clattering aside. I wrenched it open and stumbled outside, into a hallway. Not the parking lot. A hallway that couldn't exist. Long and narrow, stretching impossibly far in both directions, lined with doors. Some open, some closed. Some covered in something dark and wet that glistened in the flickering fluorescent lights. I spun around. Room 3's door was behind me, but the number was different now. Room 7. Or was it 9? The number kept shifting, rearranging itself like melting wax. To my right, room 4, room 5, room 6. To my left, room 4, room 5, room 6, 6. The same sequence, repeating endlessly in both directions. From above, I heard scratching. Not on the ceiling, in it. Something large, moving through the crawl space, following me. A door ahead swung open. A little girl stood in the doorway, maybe 7 years old, wearing a nightgown gray with mold. Her eyes were hollow sockets, but she was looking right at me. Mister? Her voice was sweet, innocent. Can you help me? He's in the walls. He's always in the walls, and he won't let me leave. Who won't? You! She shrieked, her jaw unhinging like a snake's. You won't let any of us leave! The scratching above intensified. The hallway lights began to flicker and die, darkness rushing toward me like a living thing. I ran. Doors flew past, numbers spinning and changing. Room 3, room 15, room -4. A door made entirely of mirrors. A door covered in handprints. A door that was just a hole torn in reality, showing nothing but void beyond. Behind me, the darkness was gaining, and in it, I could hear them, all of them. The sobbing man, the little girl, the old woman's wet shuffle, and underneath it all, a sound like bones scraping against concrete. I saw my door. Room 3. The number steady now, waiting. I lunged for it, crashed through, slammed it shut. The sounds stopped instantly. I was back in my room. The bed was made. The lights were off. The curtains hung still and silent. For a moment I thought I'd imagined it all. Exhaustion and grief playing tricks. I laughed, a brittle, manic sound. Then I saw the mirror, a handprint. On the inside of the glass, pressed against the surface from within. And beneath it, written backward in something rust-red and thick. You never checked out. None of us did. Welcome home, Michael. I looked at my hands. They were translucent now, gray at the edges. I could see the wall through them. That was last night, or last year, or 30 years ago. Time doesn't move right here. The clocks are all frozen at 3 a.m.